Good morning, everyone. Rick and Deb here. We have landed here at Forbes Field in Topeka, Kansas. We are at the Kansas Army National Guard Museum. I was going to go to the American Flight Museum, but they're closed. And I just talked to the individual last week, and he said, yeah, we're open 8:30 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. So we get here about a quarter till 11, and that they're just closed up tighter than the drum. So I'm kind of disappointed, but that's okay. I spent 11 years in the Kansas Army National Guard, so I'm sure this will be very interesting. They don't close till 4. It's about 11:15 right now, so I'm sure we'll have time. They got a grounds area, too, that you can visit. So I think with all that said, I think we're going to go in and enjoy, and I hope you join us today, going through this Kansas Army National Guard Museum. There may be folks out there that's been in the Guards. They might enjoy this as well. Wait, let me turn this around. Okay, and by the way, I just got this camera yesterday. It's a brand new pocket camera, and the lens part of it rotates, and you can get different, like selfies and then do the regular video. But I'll just kind of take you around here for a little bit. Real nice gentleman running it. I will be taking pictures. I got the wife taking pictures today. I will be taking pictures. As soon as I get the museum done, we'll come here and we'll take some pictures. Yep. So that kind of gives you an idea. So I'll tell you what. Here, let me just walk over this way and give a look at this tank over here. And then we'll go and make our way on the inside. Really nice day today. It's a little windy, but it's not bad. Not yet anyway. It may get a little hot this afternoon, but so far so good today. Let's go here and look at this tank just real quick. And there's other machinery out here, but I think I'll wait till I'm done inside, and then I'll do a video and take pictures of the outside. And they've got a huge area over here too, full of tanks and APCs and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, we may be here a while. But at any rate, yeah, I did 4 or 5 experimental videos yesterday at home, using different cards, using the selfie stick, not using the selfie stick, using the microphone, not using the microphone, and all of it turned out really well. I'm really pleased with that. So I think we're just going inside and get that done first, and then we'll come out here and look around. There again, this is in Forbes Field, Topeka, Kansas. So let's go back inside and start looking around. It's kind of a maze once you get in here. It really is. We just happened to look out and find the Museum of the Kansas National Guard. That says 35th Division. I was in the 137th Infantry, 69th Infantry Brigade. So let's go ahead and go on in and take a look around, and we'll be back up in a minute. Okay, now in the lobby here, and we're just going to kind of look around here a little bit. Like I say, wife's taking pictures, and I'm going to take pictures as well when we get back outside. There's a lot to take pictures of out there, so yeah. Wow. Okay. The Minuteman. Yeah. Yeah, I know those of you that watch my channel, you know that I've mentioned before I was in for 11 years, and so that's good. I'm sure those will bring some memories. This is one of the newer uniforms. I did not wear this uniform. I just wore OD green whenever I was in. I think they were just starting to come out with these when I got out, but it wasn't the green camouflage. It was the kind of sandy colored um, camouflage type uniforms, just as I was getting out. And a lot of these vehicles, of course, did not exist back in '85. But a lot's changed, I know, since I've been out. It's been a long time ago. Here's why they're ready to eat packets. Now, I got the World War II surplus cans. That's what we had back in the day. They did not have these more modern meal packets like they do today. Okay, well, let's go on around here. Here's a It's interesting. We kind of squeeze on through here. Wow. It talks about this musket here. This limited edition matchlock musket, serial number NG0034, is a replica of those used by the colonial militia predecessors to today's National Guard. Dating to 1636, this musket was first used in Newtown, Massachusetts. It is a 75 caliber weapon with a weight of 7 3/4 pounds. Around the Minuteman is a musket bandolier containing 12 wooden powder flasks and a leather pouch of 3/4 inch balls. So that would be that right there. So this musket was donated by Major General Todd and Barbara Bunting. General Bunting served as Adjutant General of Kansas from 2004 to 2011. Okay, well that's interesting. And here's the Kansas Militia Major engagements from October 9 to 29, 1864. And there's a bunch of them. There's an Austrian military pistol, caliber 69. A lot of weapons over the years, centuries, whatever. Yeah. Belt. That's a 44 caliber black powder replica right there. Here's a lot of swords. Civil War and Indian War items loaned by Mr. Tim Nadal of Topeka. He got the Civil War swords, and then it just goes on down. These are all Civil War swords. Go in here. Oh, look at that lamp. That's kind of cool. It's got the eagles on it. I've got a lamp similar to this. I've got two of these type of lamps. Now this is the Army winter dress uniform that I would have worn. Of course, this is a sergeant. He's got the a different braid. I think ours were more of a yellow or orangish color, but I was infantry. Yeah, see, there's a sunflower patch and the rank of sergeant. Really nice. This just kind of goes, I don't even know which way to go next. Here's a soldier. Now, see, these were kind of the uniforms that we were going to go to. I mean, after I'd already got out. Got out in '84. I'm sorry, 85. Got out in 85. But yeah, a lot to see here. Okay, well, it's going around. And this is a 1842 French musket that this one soldier's carrying. Looking at a map. Oh, we've got a campfire going. Looks like beans, maybe. And there's the tent, the background. Union soldier campsite with captured Confederate artillery. Civil War cannon. Wooden flag plaque. If you look inside the tent, it's kind of hard to see, but there's cards, looks like, just different. A meal, looks like maybe a piece of bread and some beans inside the tent. Civil War drum, manufactured in 1860. Civil War cannonballs, Battle of Mine Creek, Paola, Kansas, donated by, piled up by Frank Sandrich of Paola, Kansas. Been to Paola, Kansas. We just recently got back from Osawatomie, Kansas. I did some old bridges. There, took pictures and videoed some old bridges. Okay, well, no. Saddle there. I gotta watch out where I'm going here. It's interesting. It looks like that was a canteen. And I don't know what all these gears are. There's the steel pots. And your belt had your canteen and your ammo bags and all that on it. Now this is a flight jacket here. Of course, like I said, all of my clothing and helmets and all that were just like OD green. Well, here's some. That's a General Motors 2.5-ton 6x6. Vehicle and weapons dioramas right there. I think they call that a half track. Wolverine. There's a couple of Jeeps and a smaller. That's just Jeep with the back tarp. The Hellcat. There's an M109 155 millimeter howitzer. M1 Abrams tank. Bradley cavalry tank. Yeah, just different vehicles. Oh yeah, the big rig with the hauling the tank on the back end. And these vehicles are currently being used by the Kansas Army National Guard. That's a desk. Little drawers in it. Boy, big thick book there. It's Army Field Desk is what it is. An old typewriter. Operation Noble Eagle. Radar screen, 134th Aircraft Control Squadron, McConnell Air Force Base. So that's in Wichita. It's on our neck of the woods. And this is Air Force. And I don't know anything about Air Force rank, really. There's Desert Storm, Vietnam. Plaque there. Okay, there it is. Colonel Bernard A. Paul, 512 South Market, Marion, Illinois, deployed to Saudi Arabia with the 190 ARW Comp Group, 1990, Saudi Arabia national flag. Fighter jets up there. Again, this is Air Force. Okay, this looks like a probably lieutenant colonel or something like that name. I don't know. I'm not even sure this might be. I'm not even sure. And boy, of this thing. Kansas Air National Guard, 184th TFG. Kansas Air National Guard, 184th Bomb Wing. Boy. And this here is a 20 millimeter automatic gun pod containing GAU-4 Vulcan gun, manufactured by General Electric, designed for air-to-ground firing with air-to-air capability. Okay. And this here, weight is 1,075 pounds empty, 1,730 pounds loaded. Length is 199.25 inches. Ammo type is 20 millimeter. Ammo capacity 1,200 rounds. Rate of fire is 6,000 rounds per minute. Muzzle velocity 3,380 feet per second. Rounds fired, electrically fired, 320 volt DC. Gun system rotation initiated by inertia starter, then driven by its own gun gas passing through a piston and cam mechanism to rotate the barrels. Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, that's long, too. Kansas Army National Guard, Kansas Red Horse Headquarters, Bravo Battery Bulldogs, 1st Battalion, 127th Field Artillery. And these are all the rounds. In honor of the 635th soldiers killed during World War II. It's got the numbers. Kansas 12, Missouri 7, and so forth and so on, it tells. There's there. That's the Marines there. Looks like that's a lieutenant colonel, possibly. Marine infantry. U.S. Army collapsible water bucket for watering cavalry horses. It was right there. Or is right there. Okay. McClellan saddle and bridle. Hmm. Spanish-American War footlocker. Hmm. The scale models here again. Demolition test devices. Blasting cap. Blasting machine. Hmm. Soldier's handbook. This is a 1884 Springfield rifle cadet model. Yeah, it's right there. Different medals and that sort of thing, ribbons and medals. This is one of those viewfinder things that you can look at photographs with. Boy. Okay. Buffalo Soldier's hand or book there. (1859) Sharp's carbine. Right there. A knife made from broken saber. Right there. There it is. I'm still getting used to my new camera here. Pure drinking water, it says. This cabinet is from the Mexican Border War of 1916, right here. That's what this represents. Kansas Guardman on 1951 flood duty, Arkansas River, Maize, Kansas. Kansas National Guardmen enjoying their Thanksgiving dinner at Needle Shake, Kansas during emergency duty. Here's a mobile operations center, Needle Shake, Kansas, following explosion and chemical fire. There are just an abundance, a plethora of pictures. This might be a trainer. I think this is a, or maybe not. Oh, okay. This is CQ-10A Snow Goose cargo delivery unmanned aerial vehicle (UAV). It uses a parafoil parachute not on exhibit for lift and the propeller on the back for forward movement. Okay, that's what this is. Okay. And these are campaign streamers here. World War II Ally and Axis firearms. Look at that. Just row after row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of different kinds of weapons. Yeah. It tells what each one of them are. The first one up there is the French M36 with bayonet. The second one's British with bayonet. The third one is Russian M91. The fourth one is German weapon. Yeah. Okay. This might be easier here. Hungarian rifle is right here. This is Japanese model 99. Japanese model 38. This is German Mauser right here. Russian right there with a big long bayonet on it. British Enfield number 4. And then the top one's French. And some more rifles. First one's Breakover, then I think I can't pronounce it. I think a pump. Winchester model 50. It's right there. Springfield model 1898. Springfield model 1903. And Stevens model 416. Wow. Okay, we might just kind of go back around here. Make sure that I know we didn't get everything in here yet. There are just all kinds of displays. It's just crazy. I know I did some of these. We just kind of walk around this other way. Okay, I think we saw those. I think we must saw the Civil and Indian War. Yeah, we've already seen these, all these swords. Yeah, just gotta remember. These are different conflicts. Operation Iraqi Freedom. Of course, we really can't see them too well. Yeah. Iraqi Freedom. 2nd Battalion, 130th Field Artillery, Operation Iraqi Freedom 2003 to 2005. And there's some currency. IEDs, the deadliest weapon of terror. It's right there in the middle. And that's from 2001. We will not forget September 11, 2001. Yeah, I already showed you the what they used to eat out of. And then there's some more money. Yeah.
Come on.
AT 4 rocket launchers right there. That's a rocket launcher, and I did the. I fired a. I fired a. I used to do the old. I can't remember before the laws come out. I fired one of those. And I got some hats, some coffee cups. Yeah, really nice. Have to look at these a little bit closer later on. Okay. Well, let's go around this way. Time capsules. Look at that. I didn't see that. Whistle Stop Tour 2005 to 2055 at Kansas National Guard's 200th birthday. Time capsule right there. Okay. A pilot looks like. Soldier there. Looks like a sergeant major. That's a sergeant major because you've got the diamond in the middle. Maybe I do believe that's sergeant major. Look at all the buttons. Boy, and there's a ton. It's kind of dark back here, but there's a whole ton of these military coins. Is what they are. Yeah. What we got over here? What's this? I'm not sure. Guided missile launcher. That's what this is. This big piece of machinery is a guided missile launcher. Okay. And again, these are samurai swords down there. And this is from the Japan. There's the currency right there. The Japanese samurai sword. The ancient weapon of the Japanese warrior was still carried by soldiers of that country in World War II. The samurai was also part of the family lineage, and many had them in their homes. That was a samurai sword right there. Okay, well, Army helicopters. Look at all these shells down here. Wow, look at that. Hmm. Yeah. This is Desert Storm. Armored vehicle recognition cards. And these are German. This is German. That's a piece of the Berlin Wall. White sticks. West German officer's cap. Carbohydrate supplement. Lemon and strawberry drops. Pulse rate monitor. Right there. Just different kinds of tanks. Troop trains. Oh boy. There's some bronzed boots, Army boots. This is Kansas Army National Guard Officer Candidate School, non-commissioned officer, Salina, Kansas. That's a second lieutenant rank. That's a warrant officer rank. Yeah. This is medical section right here. We got one of these back here. That's a full bird colonel. So you really can't see it too well. And they just got blankets and just medical. Looks like a pressure, explosion proof, portable field, lightweight. Okay. Here's some wooden aircraft. That's a B-52 Strato Fortress bomber. B-1 Lancer. U.S. Air Force right there. This is the Douglas DC-6 or 7. Wow. I've seen these in our shows, and you can imagine how huge. I mean, we see them in real. Then the whole plethora of scale model airplanes. B-17 Flying Fortress, B-29 Super Fortress, Hercules right there, Stratojet right there, B-24 Liberator right there. Yeah, there's just a ton of these. Shortwave radio equipment right there. Some kind of protective clothing. — 35th Division Museum. Let's go back here. Oh boy, there's a Jeep. I drove many Jeeps when I was in. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now see, there's your summer dress uniform. That's an earlier version though, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a, yeah, okay. This would have been for the Catholic ceremonies or services here. There's a radio. I've operated one of those. Parachute is airborne. Wow. Looks like a switchboard. I actually carried one of these. There's shovels. Field rations. Now see there again, these come after I was, this is what we carried right here. The C rations. These are K rations, but it was similar to this. Flamethrower right there. That's 60 millimeter mortar. You got, yeah, flamethrowers and, boy, this is a 50 cal machine gun, and I actually fired one of these. The barrels on these would get so hot they'd start to melt. You had to take special heat treated type gloves and unscrew them, throw them down on the ground, and put in a fresh barrel. And the field expedient method was when you put the barrel in, you screw it in, and you back it off 3 clicks. Like so, remember that. And there's the rounds right there for the 50 cal. I know I was ammo carrier here too. Yeah, see, now this looked a lot like what we had right here. And when I first got in 1974, the C rations still had cigarettes in them. Now they stopped that. That's a full burr kernel here. Oh, cool. They stopped doing that shortly after I was in. They stopped putting cigarettes in, but they used, when I very first got in, they had cigarettes. Oh, okay. Of course, I didn't smoke, so I didn't care whether they were in there or not. Yeah, this is just a very, very, very nice museum. Very well put together. So there's just a lot here. And again, this is from the 35th. I was in the 135th. This is from the Operation Spartan Shield. Hmm. 35th Infantry Division, World War II. There's your mess kit. Different flags. Yeah. There's just so much to see here. It's really mind-boggling. Now here's the LD Green. That's a second lieutenant. Yep, that's what I would have worn. Or I did wear, rather. And this is a specialist rank. There's the sunflower patch, the same one like I wore. Okay, here you go. 69th Infantry Brigade. That's what I was in right there. Yep. Old sunflower patch. Yeah, I don't think they're around anymore. There's the boots from the different years. The 1917 rifle. Tag machine. Oh, that's huge. That's a 60 millimeter mortar. Well, that's a launcher, but there's a 81 millimeter mortar right there. Now here's your C rations right here. That's what I had the whole time I was in, was C rations. Yeah. Edge weapons collections. Yeah, it's just the amount of here's the M20 recoilless rifle. When they come out with the M72 Law, M72 Law, I think they went to that. And here's a German 8 millimeter Maxim machine gun right here. Oh, this is a first lieutenant. Got the CIB badge, combat infantry badge. This is a 1905 3-inch field gun. Those large wheels. Wow. This thing's huge. Binoculars. Anti-tank rifle. Oh, these things are huge. Oh boy, here you go. Look at all that medals. Combat infantry badge, paratrooper, Purple Heart. There's some I recognize. Like this full bird colonel. Yep. The Nazi hat. German artifacts. German Army cornet. German dress hat. Right there. You've got money, and you've got all the different ribbons. There's the Purple Heart. Revolver, 45 caliber revolver. That would have been one like I carried. I carried the 45 and the M16 rifle. Looks like that's another first lieutenant. Yeah. Anyway, I've seen some of these. Here's some awards, ribbons, awards and insignia from World War II. Of course, there's your combat infantry badge. And again, the Purple Heart. Let's go into another section here. I don't even know where I've, trying to figure out where I've been. MASH 4077, best care anywhere. Now that's really cool. This would have been from, oh, look at this. I didn't know. Look at that. Oh, wow, that's so cool. There's a hospital building. There's a helicopter pad. Wow, that's so cool. Look at that. MASH signpost. Officer's mess. Yep. Boy, I love to watch MASH. And there's the old wheelchairs. Oh, they're doing the MASH main theme song. Now we got to go in here. We just got to go in here. Oh yeah, look at this. Now, how many people know who slept where? This would have been Major Charles. That would have been Major Burns with Great Arse Teddy Bear. That would have been Honeycutt's with the straw hat. This would have been good old BJ. Or not BJ, I'm sorry. Hawkeye, I'm sorry. Hawkeye. The cowboy hat and the cards. Yeah, this would have been, looks almost like the set. There's his Hawaiian shirt. There's her martini glasses. There's her still right there. Oh, this is so cool. There's a table. It's got a radio on it and record player. Wow. This one would have been the Major Charles desk that had the newspapers in it as personal stationery and things like that. Yeah. Oh, wow. Huh. I'm glad I made it back here because I didn't know this was even here. But if you watch MASH at all, you know what, you're familiar with all this. But they're standing inside their tent just like they were really here. I can see Hawkeye and Hawkeye and Honeycutt up to their mischievous deeds. There's this famous red robe he always wore and the cowboy hat. Oh yeah, and this blue Hawaiian shirt he always wore. Yeah, that is so cool. Wow. Huh. Yeah. Wow. That is so cool. I sure didn't. Now see, here's where they would have set. Hawkeye would have been in one and BJ would have been in the other one. Of course, I have a decorated rock. But that would have been it. That was where they lived. Oh yeah. I've watched MASH all the way through. Of course, this is Colonel Potter's hat. That's Radar's hat. That's Jamie Farr's hat. He's pretending to be a nurse. And that's one of the nurses. That's Margaret Houlihan's hat. Yeah. And there's some pictures of them all together. There's BJ and Radar. Here's a portrait. Well, wouldn't that be nice to have? Look there. There's a whole bunch. Oh, wow. That'd been so cool. Yeah. Good old MASH. BJ going home. San Francisco. And there's Jamie. Or Max getting married. There they are operating. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is just so cool. Wow. I'm glad to come back here because I didn't know this is even back here, but that is really cool. It's like actually being there, you know? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we're all around that. .5-inch rocket launcher. Kansas Guardsmen practiced with 3.5 rocket launcher in the 1950s. That was before my time, of course. But there's the old walkie-talkies right there. Wow. Yeah. Well, that is really cool. I'll come back here and get a picture. In fact, I think if I've been all the way around, what I might do is grab some pictures. Okay, not completely missed this. Let me see if I can find. These are just different patches. All different kind of patches. There's a sunflower patch. That's what I wore. 69th Infantry, 137th Infantry Brigade. And I don't think they're even in operation anymore. There's Airborne, of course. There's Airborne, Quartermaster, Thunderbird. They're out of Oklahoma. I know a few. Special Forces, right there. Yeah, the old National Guard Armory in Winfield is a bus bar now. This is the Adolf Hitler, the most evil tyrant in recorded history. Yeah. This original oil painting of Adolf Hitler, painted by Heinrich Betzold in 1942, was taken from the German Officers Club at Hammelburg, Germany, by First Lieutenant Stanley Casey, 35th Infantry Division, following his liberation from Auflag 13B, a German POW camp, by the 14th Armored Division on April 6, 1945. First Lieutenant Casey kept the painting until his death. When it passed his widow upon her death, the 15th Circuit Court of Arkansas directed that the painting be delivered to the Museum of the Casual National Guard Armory, home of the 35th Museum. The 35th was First Lieutenant Casey's unit. It is in no way intended to glorify Hitler nor the Nazi movement. It is simply a war trophy with the Nazi flags displayed with it. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, I didn't even see this back in here. I think we're going to stop here and we'll take some pictures. I think we've been all the way through it, but there's just a lot here. I mean, it's just crazy. I'd highly recommend, if you can get to Topeka, to definitely visit this Kansas Army National Guard, especially if you've had relatives, family members that were in the Guards or still in the Guards today. Come and visit. There's a donation only. You donate whatever you want. There's Drill Sergeant hat with the Kansas patch. Oh yeah, very familiar. There's a meal combat that is a like the kind that I ate back there. The sea rations. Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, there's just a ton of pictures and just oh gosh, it's just crazy. I know I didn't probably show you everything, but I'll go around and take some pictures, and they'll go to the outside, and we'll look around the outside a little bit. There's just so much here. I think I've seen it all. Maybe I'll just walk around one more time. I'll make sure I did. Yeah, Black Hawk helicopter right there. I've flown some helicopters. I sure did. Flown some over the years. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're going to swing around here one more time, and then I'm going to take some pictures, and then we're going to go outside. Oh yeah. I mean, if you wanted to be in here, you could and look at everything. You'd be in for hours. Yeah, I think we showed all that. Yeah, I've been through there. Martin Trophy case. Combat support for Combat Service Support Unit in Kansas Army National Guard each year. Oh, okay. Maintenance companies, single company, support companies, plaques. Okay. Okay, well, I think we're going to stop here. I'm going to take some pictures, then we'll go outside and we'll look around a little bit. Okay, just hang on. When I come back out, we'll be outside and take some videos and pictures of what's outside. Okay, so we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we took some pics. Now we're going to continue on. One huge gun. Okay, now we got to make our way over here. Here, another helicopter. Huh. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk around. Oh, there's a whole barn in there. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, what we better do is we better go in here. I did not know this is even here. Wow. Here's the M-114 up-armored Humvee. This is the M-37 3/4 ton truck. Wow. Here's a 1/4 ton Jeep. As I stated in the video inside, I have driven these. I just identical. Huh. I'm gonna have to work my way around. Here's the L-19 Bird Dog. Yeah, we're just going to have to walk around. Here's a 1/4 ton trailer. I actually pulled a trailer like this many times. And here is a 19th century freight wagon. Field kitchen trailer. And another Jeep. This is a litter Jeep. This is for medical evacuation. In other words, they would carry wounded soldiers. Well, I guess one. Maybe one at a time. And then behind me is the MASH ambulance. M725 ambulance. A little vehicle here. United States Air Force. M45 quad mount. Trainer machine gun anti-aircraft M9. This is a OH-6 Cayuse helicopter. And there's the pilot. Okay, and here you have a Russian motorcycle with sidecar. This is a 1944 airborne scooter. And that back of us is a J65 turbojet engine. And this is a, oh well, let's look at this first. This is a utility platform truck. That's what this is. Okay, and then of course they got that up under the wing of this other airplane. Another helicopter. This is the OH-23 Raven Observation Medevac Utility. And this is the M20 armored car. We'll go around and look at it here just real quick. Kilroy was here. Huh. Oh, I missed that one, I think. We'll look at it here in just a minute. Caution, left-hand drive. Oh no, that's the bird dog. Okay, we've already seen the bird dog. Okay, well I think I'm gonna have to stop and take some pictures. And this over here that's cool. This is actually a Vietnam bunker. Well, let's go in here and take a look around. It may be too dark. Oh. No, not really. Oh, howdy. Wowee. Pretty small. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off again, take some pictures, then we'll go on the next section. Okay, well we got this done. And took pictures, of course. So now we're going to go on. This is huge out here. I don't know. Boy, howdy, I tell you what. I know we drove by this last year. And now this helicopter is like a cargo type helicopter where it can pick up these huge like cargo containers and lift them and transport them. And I've seen these before at other museums we've been at. Okay, boy, I don't know, guys. There's a lot of stuff out here. I want to try to get it all done though. Let's walk over here and then we'll make our way around. Boy, wowee. A little warm in that garage. But while we're here, I have to get this, just have to. It may take me a little while, but I'll get it. This looks like a 5-ton. I've actually driven a 5-ton very similar to this one. I was down in Texas. I actually drove one of those. Okay, I think we'll just go this way. This is an amphibious vehicle. This is what they used to make the duck rides. And here's a John Deere tractor. Another tank. More guns. Big guns. Now there's an APC, and I drove one of those. Armored personnel carriers. This looks like a wrecker. Boy, look at that. That's huge. Wow-wee. That's one big vehicle. This has a fifth wheel attachment on the back end of it. And this is the dump truck. Here's some more APCs. Over here, we'll walk around and get the front side. Now, I did not drive one like this one here. I think it's the same thing. These are just larger versions. This would be to haul troops in. And that might have been as well. Well, these are tanks here. This is what one is this one? M42A1 40mm Duster anti-aircraft artillery. One bad dad. I remember to hold my camera up high enough. This is undoubtedly an engine. This looks like the top swivels, rotates, however you want to say it. It rotates. And then we have two more down here. I think we'll stop here, take a few pictures. I think we're going to call it good. Hope you enjoyed today's video here at the Kansas Army National Guard Museum, the Forbes Field in Topeka, Kansas. If I didn't mention it before, it is Thursday, the 15th of August. We got here about 11 o'clock. It's about 1:20 now. With that museum, oh, you know what? That may be a gamma goat. No, that's not a gamma goat either. Kind of looks like one. I drove a gamma goat too. They got the accordion type doors, and they're so loud you have to wear hearing protection. I know, I've driven one. Anyway, hope you have a nice, safe, enjoyable Thursday. I know that the weekend is right around the corner. So I think we're going to start up here. We're going to work our way back. Remember to go out and explore your world. Be safe. Have fun. Be aware of your surroundings. And just do what you enjoy doing, whatever that may be. But there again, I would highly recommend this museum, especially if you've had family members that were in the Kansas Army National Guard. So anyway, as always, we will see you on the next video. So, goodbye for now.